Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the In the Ring Show with your host, Devious Damien. Now, since I will not be home, this Friday night, I'll be at an independent wrestling show, watching that, seeing Tommy Dreamer in action. Well, me and Devastating Dev will both be there. We will not be home Friday night to watch Smackdown, so, because I already know what's going to happen, I am going to post a spoiler video. So if you don't want your show spoiled, don't watch the video. And yes, I will post spoiler in the title so you don't have to click on it. So if I spoil the show for you, guess what? It's your own fault. So the show opens with a look back at Extreme Rules and the events of that show. Then out comes Sheamus calling out Daniel Bryan, mocking his yes chance. And we're going to get a rematch from the pay-per-view right then and there. So then we get Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. Ends in a disqualification. And what happens is Sheamus wins when Del Rio attacks Sheamus. And Del Rio applied the cross-arm breaker to Sheamus. And trainers ended up helping Sheamus to the back. So WWE Tag Team, new WWE Tag Champions, R-Truth and Kofi Kingston beat Hunico and Camacho in a non-title match. Afterwards, Epico and Primo with AW end up having to stare down with Epico and Primo who are standing on the ramp. Then there's going to be a tag team match at the next pay-per-view, Over the Limit. It's going to be the Big Show and Randy Orton against Cody Rhodes and Kane. So after that, we get Brodus Clay defeating Jack Swagger by DQ because Vicky Guerrero interferes. And also, well, Vicky and Ziggler interfere. Then we get a backstage segment with Alberto Del Rio and Daniel Bryan arguing who should be the next in line to challenge World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus. Now, this seems a little bit less than logical to me because Daniel Bryan's already in line for a WWE Championship match. So, why should he give a shit about whether or not Alberto Del Rio has a World Heavyweight Championship match? Kind of confusing to me. It's like Daniel, you already have a shot at the WWE Championship. Why do you give a shit about challenging Sheamus for the World Heavyweight Championship? Because you know, even if you were to manage to win both belts, you know WWE would never let you hold both. Come on. So then, Damien Sandow comes to the ring, and he's supposed to face some local douchebag jobber named Derek Bateman. Sandow refuses to wrestle him, says he's not going to get in the ring with a lowly miscreant. Out comes Ryback, and in typical Ryback fashion, squashes him, beating him with a running muscle buster. So then, we get Randy Orton, who Big Show and Randy Orton beat Intercontinental Champion Cody Rhodes, and Randy Orton and Big Show beat Kane and Cody Rhodes. Orton hit the RKO on Kane, and Big Show hit the WMD on Rhodes. So then, we get the World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus is medically cleared to compete, and his opponent will be Daniel Bryan again. So, we get Teddy Long and Oksana in backstage with Antonio Cesaro and Eve Torres. Eve tells Long to oil up Antonio. I'm glad I'm not going to be watching that show because I don't want to see that shit. So then we get a video package with AJ's unusual behavior over the past 3 weeks. And then we get Caitlyn approaching... Caitlyn's approached by AJ. AJ apologizes for her unusual behavior. And Caitlyn forgives her. AJ then slaps Caitlyn and runs off. Alberto Del Rio comes out to join the announce team for the next match. And Sheamus once again beats Bryan with a brogue kick, despite interference from Del Rio. Then Del Rio and Bryan argue after the match while Sheamus celebrates in the ring. Sounds like a decent show, except for the illogical arguing between Bryan and Del Rio over who's going to be the next in line to challenge Sheamus. Especially, well, like I said, when you consider the fact that Daniel Bryan is, as of this point, the next in line to challenge CM Punk. So, shouldn't Daniel Bryan be focusing on that opportunity, not worrying about Del Rio challenging Sheamus? Just saying. You know, I mean, I'm not really blaming Daniel Bryan. I know he's just doing as he's told. I just think the storytelling in and of itself is illogical. Because, I mean, why do you make a guy in storyline the number one? Why do you make a guy the number one contender for the for the WWE Championship? But then you have him bickering with Alberto Del Rio about who's next in line for the World Heavyweight Championship. So why are you placing more value on the World Heavyweight Championship than the WWE Championship? Just wondering. So I'm going to do one more video before this night's over. And it's about Brock. It's going to be about Brock Lesnar's alleged backstage antics after Extreme Rules. And the way I've seen him acting on TV the past few weeks, although I do believe that some of it, actually I do believe his actions were scripted, still, I do believe that I wouldn't put it past Brock Lesnar to do the acts that he allegedly committed. Like I said, look out for the video. I'll be doing that video right after this video. For this edition of the In the Ring Show, this is Devious Damien signing out.